Thanks to everyone who have subscribed. If you have not, please do. And thanks for coming out here. I really appreciate you. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my people. Something is happening. The plot is beginning to hash out nicely by the North, by the Almajiris and by Buhari and his plans, what he has been planning. Don't forget that immediately Buhari was elected in his first regime as the president of Nigeria. The first thing he embarked on was to put a Ruga law. What Ruga means was relocating the Fulanese or houses to every part of the 36 states of the Federation, giving a federal order that every governor should give them lands in their locality to begin to stay and to thrive. But the same did not apply to other languages or people in Nigeria. There was no directives to stay. All those from maybe Igara should relocate. They should give them lands in every 36 states of the country. Or all those from Ile-Ife should be given land for the 36 states of the country. It was just for the Fulanese. Guess what? Nigerian kicked against it, and today the plan, because Buhari has just 2 years in office, don't forget. Just 2 years left, and the remaining year will be for election for the next president and all that. So Buhari has 2 years left, my people. And guess what? That Ruga initiative and plan is actually working it out. Because even with the whole lockdown, it has continued. Let's go to the news so you can understand what we are saying in totality. Igbo groups reject Almajiri relocation to the southeast. The Ohanaeze has lamented that increasing relocation of the Almajiris to the southeast despite the interstate travel ban by the federal government, and they have vowed to resist this relocation. The highest Igbo socio-cultural organization, Ohanaeze Ndigbo's, the Igbo National Council, INC, and the Anambra State Association of Town Union on Tuesday called for a halt to the influx of northern youths into the southeast states. The Ohanaeze Ndigbo's youth and the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, have kicked against the development. They accuse security agencies of complacency in the free movement of the Almajiris, which they said makes a mockery of the interstate travel ban. Ohanaeze's president in Anambra, Chief Dan Okeke, said it was left for the people to protect themselves since the federal government has failed to effectively enforce its order. Okeke, the federal government is not ready to protect us. We must take our security in our hands. No other person can do that for us. We are ready, and we want those within a mission in a statement to find in our state to find alternative abode. This state cannot contain us and them. The Igbo National Council, INC, described the relocation of the Almajiris to the southeast as an assault on the Ndigbos and the national report. INC president urged Igbo's leader to intensify their vigilante outfits and initiate an identification exercise in their community. We also enjoin the vigilante groups to commence regular combating and security of all the forests of our communities. INC will do everything possible to protect her citizens and territories of the Igbo nation state, he said. National President Chief Charles wondered why the Almajiris were moving to the southeast rather than returning to their state of origin. He told reporters on behalf of all the communities of Anambra State, "We express our disgust and total disappointment with ongoing wicked effort by some desperate citizens who are engaging in the wicked act of shipping strange persons from northern Nigeria to the south, Anambra State and the southeast inclusive. We wish to warn that should this malicious business of shipping strange persons continue, Almajiris or north from the north or elsewhere to Anambra State in light of COVID-19 restriction, the communities of Anambra will be left with no choice than to confront the situation with the seriousness it deserves. We can no longer take it as a child's play. And whatsoever that is all are behind this wickedness must refrain from doing so immediately, as the communities in Anambra State can no longer fold our hands and watch our lives are being threatened by this mischievous inclination by some unpatriotic Nigerian citizens who can go as far as hiding human beings between animals and bags of cement or whatever smuggling capacity from the northern part of Nigeria down to Anambra State or to the southeast. Ndigbo Youth, in a statement by his National Deputy President, Dr. Kingsley Odoze, urged the southeast states to ensure the Almajiris return to where they were coming from. We will no longer tolerate the sabotage by security operatives who should man the borders and stop the influx of Almajiris, including suspected Boko Haram terrorists. We are engaging our youth vigilante group to take charge of the borders. Enough is enough. We are warning all security operatives to adhere strictly to the ban on interstate movement. We are now positioned to check the borders ourselves. We will not condone the sabotage from the greedy and selfish security operatives and businessmen. The lives and property of the people are very important to us, Dozier said in her statement. The PFN said the free movement of the Almajiris despite the lockdown was a threat to efforts to coffee and to the spread of coronavirus instigated by President Muhammadu Buhari. National Vice President Southeast Dr. Kotus said it was strange and very indulgent that these men and women are flooding into the southeast despite the nation lockdown. To this end, we are calling on the Southeast governors to walk and talk by putting up streams of measures to protect the region and the boundaries. The current situation should not be left unchecked as it poses great danger to the zone, he said. The president of Nigeria, the influx of the Almajiris goes to tell us a large statement that there is a secret agenda that no Nigeria is strictly aware of. The federal government has heard of this lamentation by the south, and southeast of the influx of Almajiri despite the whole lockdown and has not said a word. When we heard about Boko Haram, they pretended not to say a word until the other nations of the world began to say something about it. Then Buhari said he was condemning the action. Moving forward, they go around arresting Yahoo boys, saying that they were people to be arrested. What about those that are killing people? Nobody is doing anything. The presidency is silent about this. What does this tell you? Nigerians, be vigilant. Everyone, take control of your borders. The government is not ready to protect her citizens. Well, Nigerians, you have heard it all. The conspiracy theory continues. How the government is not bothered about taking care of our citizens, how the government goes about doing their own thing, how the government goes about, not protecting the life or property of the Nigerian citizens. All they do is themselves. All they do is about what concerns them. Once it comes to the question of Boko Haram, once it comes to the question of Fulani herdsmen committing atrocities, they've not declared them terrorists even up until now. They've not. They've allowed them to continue to thrive, to cause evil and damage to lives and property. A lot has been said, but yet not a single word has been mentioned about them. Look at the man in the north whose brother was killed, and because his brother was killed, he said he insulted Buhari. And guess what? He was openly condemned and judgment was passed on him. So Buhari does not want anybody to speak about the Fulani herdsmen because they are people of his tribe. He does not want anybody to speak about Boko Haram. There is already, it is no longer a news, it's no longer a hidden agenda that there is a helicopter already. They've moved ahead. They've gotten a helicopter now that protects them. Yet the federal government of Nigeria does nothing, say nothing, and allow them to thrive. What does that tell you? Any government that wants to defeat terrorism, any government that wants to destroy evil in their region can do it. Can do it. But Nigerian government don't want to do it because they know exactly what they are doing. There is somebody, it is their agenda, but they are using the office of democracy to cover it nicely, like they are not part of it. Did you remember that Buhari did not say a word until Trump started saying what is going on in Nigeria? And you do know the number of people that have been killed only this year, not talking about 4 years or 5 years ago? That is Nigeria for you. Anyway, leave us your comments. Don't forget to like us, share, subscribe. Click on the notification button so you can get all our latest news. God bless you. Thanks for listening and bye for now.